Welcome back to another episode of NFTCatcher Podcast. We'd like to remind everybody that nothing on the show is meant as financial advice, and to please do your own research. Thank you, and enjoy the show.
Now the subject is NFTs.
They're known as non-fungible tokens, or NFTs.
NFTs are exploding in popularity.
This is a technology that will forever change the way people interact.
So it is happening whether you understand it and like it or not.
This phenomenon is moving. The digital.
You have now joined Jenny from the blockchain and Michael Keene on the NFT Catcher Podcast.
What's up, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the NFT Catcher Podcast with me, Jenny from the blockchain, and my co-host, Michael Keene. For today's interview, we have Diamond Doll joining us. She is the ultimate Web3 event thrower, co-founder of NFTCLT, Y3K Quest, and House of Sex, Sacred Energy Exchange.
What?
And I would say one of my favorite people in Web3 to party with. So let that be known. Diamond Doll, welcome to the show.
Hi, I'm so excited to be here and chat with you. Thank you so much for having me today.
Yes, I'm pumped to have you on. I feel like we've been to a lot of events together. I don't even feel like I remember all of them. And I don't even remember how we met, which is one of my questions I was going to ask you as well, to see if you remember. Because I don't think I do. I'm like,
shout out to Young Content. I don't know exactly what event we met, but Young Content, Tony, they were in the space way back, OGs. And that's how I was put on to you. I'm not sure exactly where we met. Maybe it was Miami, maybe NFT NYC. But actually, that was NFT NYC. I remember. Yes, it was like a rooftop out there like that.
Oh,
second or third year.
Yes. Wait, who threw that? That was like
Gutter Cat?
Oh, Gutter. Yeah, I think so.
No,
It was
that
a
was
collab
Gutter
with
Cats,
multiple.
and the other one was House.
House of First, right? They were part of that.
House of First.
Right, House of First, but it was the company before that, the Royal Society of Players, wasn't it?
Yes,
Royal
RSOP.
Society.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I was on that rooftop as well. So Andy and I were there. Andy's got pictures from it. That was epic.
Oh,
Packed.
yeah. That was a good
Packed
one.
like sardines, right?
Oh my
Like,
God, so packed.
Yeah. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Epic party.
Yeah, that was,
Definitely.
oh my God. Yeah. Shout out to Young Content. I do remember him being like, oh, you gotta meet Diamond, like the person to know. And I think we just briefly talked. And then I think it was really at that Royal Society of Players, House of First party at Bo Peep, which I think was in New York. Yeah, it was. It was that basement party in New York where we really like got to talking more and stuff. And yeah, that was a lot of fun. Michael, did you go to that one? Maybe not.
I don't know if I did. I don't think I did.
Okay, maybe not. But
Shout out to House of First. That's the community that we're very deep with. Shout out to RSOP. One of my very first.
You always
I
always
got-
ready to go.
I got the Remarkable Woman hoodie.
Oh, that's sick.
That- shout out to Mr. Pink. He gave you, me, and my sister one at that party, at that event. And yeah, I still have mine. I remember that night. We did karaoke and everything. That was a long night for me.
Nobody
That
gets
was the
more
other
free
night.
swag. Nobody gets more free swag in NFTs than Jenny from the blockchain. Nobody.
Woo!
Nobody.
Oh, no. And I saw that sweater too, because I've been in the community.
Yep. Okay, so yeah, started talking here, but I do want to get into your Web3 journey first and foremost, and then I have a bunch of questions for you. But yeah, how did you first get into Web3? How did you get into NFTs? Let's hear your story.
Okay, so Young Content, shout out Young Content, and Tony Bravado is how I really got into NFTs. I am an engineer by trade. I was already in global supply chain management, building computers, electronic components overseas and managing those relationships and really in the factories and, being at the forefront in the negotiations of how things are built and where they're going in terms of like consumer electronic life cycle and such. And so I did that for Microsoft, Jewel, and then I met Tony and Young right when things were booming and they had already released their project. They were already deep in some communities. And so that was the first time that, to me, like I had an aha moment when they were talking about NFTs. Like I already knew blockchain, having studied engineering in school. Like I had blockchain events that I had hosted on the campus of USC, but it was never in this like application. And so it was like so clear that this was the future of how business and organizations were going to be run, like even if we're at the infant stages. And I really wanted to make sure that I was a part of that. So that's how I really got started. I've been doing a lot of community building in the tech space in general, particularly with underrepresented folks in tech. So marginalized communities. I'm half Black myself. I ran National Society of Black Engineers at USC. And they did a lot of ERG, employee resource group work at the companies I was with. And so I was like, okay, all of that can be applied to NFTs. What I've been doing in terms of community building in tech, I see a need and a gap for that in this world of Web3. And that's what we started was NFT Charlotte. So CLT stands for Charlotte. Also creative learning technologies, because that's what we're really doing is we're using NFTs and the communities that have kind of developed around this technology as a learning tool to get people to that next phase and ready for the digital transformation that's occurring, that's here.
Dang, I did not know that you were like everything you were doing before Web3. So then how did you, I mean, I guess it was an easy transition because as you were saying, like you were already in tech and, already community building, but how did you kind of like get your foot in the door with starting to throw your own events in Web3?
Again, it was just like immediate. I went to Tony and Young and I was like, so why aren't you doing onboarding and education in your city? Like, where are the meetups? So it started on that consulting, that strategic advising for two people. I saw their vision. I saw the future where they're going, they're making crazy content, that was really funny, but it was so niche, right? About Bored Ape Yacht Club and all these projects. And so I'm a nerd. I got it, but I was like, y'all have to really branch out and start bringing community together. So it really started on the consulting kind of end of things. And I'm a doer at the end of the day. It was like, okay, bet Tony came from entertainment industry. So very easy to, spin up an event and start getting plugged in the city. So yeah, that's really where that birthed out of. And there was just like a certain inflection point where all of that work was starting to pile on top of the work that I was doing in supply chain. And so I just had to like pick where did I want my energy and intention and focus during that time frame. And so at that point, I think 2021, I went full time into NFT community building.
Nice. I actually, when you were bringing up Young and Tony, I wanted to say, I do remember when I first met Young Content, it was like, I don't know, probably early 2021, because he was really into Top Shot and I was into Top Shot. And my first time seeing Tony, who you guys are partners now, and I wanted to bring up one of his tweets as well to talk about with you, but I think they used to do like skit videos together. Like I swear the first time I saw him was in like one of Young Content's skits, and I was like, who is this guy? And then I think they started making like toys together, something like the digital toys. So yeah, I don't know if I have that wrong or right.
For the Alpha Group.
Yeah.
No, you're totally right. They were ahead of their time because like I'm a theater kid. So when I saw them making these skits about these niche communities, I was like, y'all are funny as hell, bro, but nobody's going to get this shit. You really got to get people on board into this. But they had their digital collectibles, which was like their interest into their Alpha Group. So in terms of like early utility community, like they were doing it, but at like, a scale that was really like grassroots focused.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah. Young's always been early to stuff. So yeah, he's just to making content, everything. Okay, yeah, I wanted to bring up Tony's tweet. So how long have you guys been together? Like it's been over a year, right?
We've been together like more than 3 years now.
More than 2 years. Because he tweeted recently saying, today marks 275 days on the road for me and Diamond Doll, producing events and activations all across the country. So okay, well, I guess you kind of talked a little bit about, you came to them, you're like, hey, why aren't you doing stuff in your city? But when did the two of you really start kind of becoming this power couple and, doing everything together?
I mean, instantly, I met Tony over at a layover while I was in my other previous job, and we really connected off the emerging tech space. And so like, that was always a goal. And then in terms of intention, I was seeking, like I was looking for people to build with. And so, yeah, we started, I think it was in November, December of 2020, right when things were hot in Charlotte, putting on an event. And they were free. And like, when I knew it was something that we needed to travel with, we had someone come up from Atlanta and like South Carolina. And, I was like, okay, so there's a little regional action going on. There's really nothing happening in this part. It's like, we're onto something. So that's when it started. And what's crazy is like the people we originally started with, they tried to be like, nah, you shouldn't tour and like go across the country and do this shit. Like there's no place for that. And I'm like, so I'm pretty sure there's a place for that. So I can't recall like exactly, but I think what really happened was we started going to events and building community. And we found that those people in their cities didn't necessarily have the support or resources to do like consistent programming or whatever event, they have coming up. Like we really wanted to be a support system. So we would pop up, we drive by, and be hands on deck to make shit go, or help curate, speakers, or curating programming, really Swiss Army knife for the community members that we were building with. So it was pretty early on, like within the first year, we started having intention to build with people in other cities and support their events.
Michael, I know you got some questions.
Well, you guys are digital nomads? You're traveling constantly? Is that,
Definitely. We're home based in Charlotte.
So you have a home base. Got you.
Too.
Cool.
Yeah.
Love it.
Got kids, family, all that. My family's on the East Coast. So we're home based in Charlotte. But I have roots in LA and all over. So
yeah. So what I was gonna say is normally I do a lot of research for our guests, but there's not a ton to find on you. Sometimes I can find a lot. I ask GPT and stuff, but so one thing I found that's really, really interesting that I need to ask you about, what is this? So the Planet Pleasure House of Sex event at Art Basel.
Wow.
Welcome to the future of wellness, tech, and art. At our Web3 immersive experience, you'll be transported to a world of sensuality and learn the art of sacred energy exchange. All that for $35. I am intrigued. I need to hear about this event.
For us, another gap that I saw in the space very early on, I didn't feel like there was enough opportunities for the creators in the space to showcase their art and their work and their brand. And so that's what I wanted to create. And sacred energy exchange, just in the time and place we are as a culture, we're very hypersexual. I mean, we have songs on the radio called like WAP, like wild things, right? But we don't always come at it from like a very like intentional approach, right? So I really felt like, hey, there's opportunity to create this space that is safe, that is inclusive, but that does push the boundaries. And we're exploring sex through art at the end of the day and highlighting all these artists on chain, whether they're musician, fine artist, digital artist, in a way that's like actually memorable. In terms of welcoming new people into the community of Web3, I also feel like Web3 is kind of exclusive by nature, right? Token gated. So it's a little bit hard for outsiders to feel comfortable, like even in just the community, if they feel like they don't know enough or they're not really quite sure who are the people behind this stuff. Like we wanted to create that safe space. So that's really what the event is. It is a little cheeky. We're all grown adults. It is fun. We have our youth event the next day. But, on December 7th from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. in the heart of Wynwood, come check out who are in our community and who's building, because they're doing some really innovative, groundbreaking things.
Is it going to be very loud, or is it going to be able to have people talk?
This is a club setting, so it'll be a little bit louder, but there's performative.
Because I'm middle aged. I mean, Jenny knows I'm 32 years old now, so my hearing is starting to go a little bit.
Cap.
What?
Anyone knows
cap.
This cap?
Let the record know he is in his 40s.
What?
I just need the record to show that.
This is unbelievable. Okay.
We did have questions last time though. Last event we had let's talk about sex questions that like open the door to be more like vulnerable. But we had breath work and sound healing, like really getting into a peaceful state of mind. So yeah.
Nice. No, that sounds really cool. I'm starting to see all these Basel events. I'm getting pumped. People are starting to talk about stuff. I am an old man. I do not love clubs, I will say. I like the socializing. That's my favorite. Because if it's loud and like, I don't know, I'm not going to complain about it, but I know people love that stuff. But I know if it's going till 5 a.m., it's not going to be quiet and people just relaxing. Yeah.
No, not this one.
And
But
what's
it
the
is
other what's the
intimate.
other event you said you're doing? You said you're working with something else?
Yeah, the other event we're doing the next day is called Another Awesome Day. It's for teen suicide prevention. And so it's in the heart of the African American historic neighborhood of Overton and Miami.
Yeah, for sure.
And
Yep.
so we're at the
Just south of Wynwood. I'm very familiar. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll be starting out our community members again. They're going to be showcasing their projects, their art. We'll do some NFT, Web3 crypto wallet setup, onboarding, get people into this space in like a very inclusive and safe way.
Is that a family friendly event? Because I actually have 3 little kids that I love bringing them down to Wynwood during the day for that kind of stuff.
It is a
during our
family friendly
Basel.
event. So
Cool.
12
Okay.
p.m. To 6 p.m.
That might be the one. That might be better. That might work better. Cool. I'm trying to set up my schedule. I love it. Sound like you
Yeah.
do some fun stuff though.
Yeah, I'm big on like meeting people where they're at. Different strokes for different folks. And I do feel like there is a miss with that generation. Like the teens going up into like, the young adults is like, I don't think they've had a proper introduction to Web3, to be honest.
No, definitely not. Most people have not had a proper introduction. Their introduction has been Rolling Stone articles and CNN articles has been most people's introduction. No doubt.
And recently the Simpsons episode. It was like a whole 6-minute. I only watched it through Twitter, but it was a whole 6-minute segment on NFTs. And
right when the episode dropped, this famous Simpsons parody artist, something Russo, dropped a collection called Springfield Punks. Dropped them for free, 3,500 of them, and the floor price overnight went to like 0.45. It's done 1,400 ETH in volume in 24 hours. Yep. It's back down to 0.13. So like people got wrecked on it that were buying. They woke up and were like, oh, it's like they're really ugly. Like,
is the bull market back?
I mean, that's a bull like thing. It's the tide is turning. There's some cool things happening. I don't know if the Super Yetis aren't going to the moon, but there's cool things happening.
No, I think, I do think that same kind of fever energy that was 2 years ago is going to come back the same way. But it is very clear that our politicians and regulatory officials, they're putting their energy into this space. So in terms of signals for prospective growth, we're at an inflection point where major agencies, major organizations really have an eye on how do we put some reins on this space and make it something that we can really start to grow and build and scale.
Also, Gordon Goner, one of the co-founders of Bored Ape Yacht Club, bought a zombie punk for 600 ETH, which at the current ETH price is like $1.1 million. And then also in addition to that, someone placed a bid on a CryptoPunk ape for 1,070. Wait, did I say that he bought a zombie punk? Yeah, I think I did. Yeah, and then someone placed a bid for a CryptoPunk ape for 1,070 ETH, which is $2 million. So I don't know. What are your thoughts on CryptoPunks selling? Like, some big money moves happening.
Well,
a bunch of people started buying the floor ones.
Well, Gordon made $1 billion. He's like a billionaire from Yuga, so he can do that. I think it's great. I mean, no, but
he's not a billionaire.
No, I know he's not a billionaire. Yuga was valued at $1 billion at one point. Probably not anymore. Probably is still $1 billion, but who knows? that neither here nor there. Great sale. It's really cool. Good for him. There was a bunch of like negative Yuga news. He had to do something to get some positive stuff out there. The other one, who knows? If it goes through, that'd be great. Maybe it's a wash trade. I don't know. It's not like, it's nice to see big sales. It's always nice to see big sales. But sometimes they're weird stuff going on.
True.
But it's cool that he bought that nice punk. Good for him. That's a grail.
Yeah, for me, in terms of my take, I'm big on like what problems are we solving with blockchain? A lot of bullshit going on in the world. So like, I'm cool off virtue signaling. I'm cool off like flexing for clout. Like I would love to see like those leaders in the space that, are looked up to really showcasing how blockchain can like move the needle forward in terms of like equity and like I said, just solving problems. Like that's to me when I got into blockchain, it was like, oh, boom, like, I've worked at Visa, I like, work in the tech industry. So I'm connecting the dots and I'm like, oh yeah, this is like very clearly the next iteration. And I feel like sometimes you get caught up in hype and like, that's kind of the disappointing thing in the space. If you are coming into it on the more, idealistic, altruistic tip versus I'm just here to make money and like join, certain communities or whatnot. But hey, to each their own. I hope that Zombie Punk has some value. Like, is there some utility or something with that community?
There's no utility for crypto.
There is no. They got to go to
HBO.
They got to go to Beeple's party. They got to go to Beeple's party a few weeks ago. That's worth $1 million.
Oh, in South Carolina? Was it somewhere else?
It was in South Carolina.
Okay. Yeah, South Carolina's a rager. Let's go.
Charleston, baby. That's funny. What are the problems that you want to see start to be solved? Like I look at stuff like loyalty programs. I look at stuff like ticketing. Even like political donations, I think would be awesome for the blockchain. What are some of the ones? What's in your head? What do you see that you want to like? What problems can it solve?
I never came into this space on like a DeFi tip, but I really love learning about regenerative finance and what people are doing in that space. I think that's interesting. I also do think like I come from supply chain, so I'm very interested in like how do you streamline that? Because there's a lot of like just like the contract, and the wheeling and dealing, and when market shifts, right, going back and trying to negotiate the favorable in real time. And I do think like blockchain provides a tool that can make those things easier. So I'm really excited to see those problems be solved because like I'm in a space, so we have a partnership. NFTCLT has a partnership with an economic zone out in North Carolina, South Carolina, called Catawba Digital Economic Zone, and they are for digital focused business, blockchain based businesses to be e-residents there and function as legal entities. So like that's really exciting to me. Is starting to see the problem of like small entrepreneurs and business owners, like the startup costs and all of that's associated. Those starting to be solved by folks who can now like really manage whatever they're trying to do, right, through blockchain, right, and tokenizing their skill sets, their assets, and making that a whole like a lot more streamlined. So those are some things that I'm pushing for personally, like helping the planet, regenerative finance, making sure entrepreneurs and small businesses have some sort of equity before these kind of big businesses gobble up, all of the real estate, the digital economic real estate, and kind of favorable market conditions. I think those are like the kind of the two most important things we can be looking at right now.
Heck yeah. You ready, Jenny? What do you got? I know you got a bunch of questions.
Oh.
Okay, I've been taking over a little bit. The conversation got interesting. I started going away, but I'll let you hop back in here.
No, you're good. Well, I was kind of wondering because you've thrown a lot of events in all over the U.S., maybe the world. Have you thrown events around the world?
Not for blockchain, just U.S.
Okay.
But I would love to get back to Asia for sure.
Ooh, that would be cool.
Africa, yeah, that would be cool.
That's the next 275 days.
Blockchain Week Paris in April is going to be popping.
Oh, you going to Paris?
I think so. We got a very interesting invite from one of our last guests, Jenny and I think I'm going to take him up on it.
We did. Yeah, we had
Yeah.
Robbie Young from Animoca Brands on.
I love Paris.
Yes, Paris. Yeah, let's do Paris Blockchain Week. I'm pretty sure I'm going to go. I told my wife that I think I would go to that one. She's like, I guess. And
you should bring
her.
her.
Yeah, I know. Well, the kids have school and stuff.
Right.
I wouldn't want to inconvenience everybody.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to inconvenience everybody.
You're like, she can stay home and watch the kids.
Yeah.
Bro. Okay.
I say, ask your mother to come stay with us while I go. Make it easy.
True.
All right, I'll keep the family politics out of it.
Okay, so you've been throwing events, Web3 events all around the US. And I was wondering, what are some of your favorite, or maybe like one of your favorite events, Web3 events that you've thrown, like that's kind of really stood out to you?
Definitely the engagement at USC, like University of Southern California is my alma mater. And so I'm big on helping the students directly. I was a student organization leader, and I just understand that particular struggle of supporting, other students. And so that to me was really a highlight of the work that we've been doing. It is going back on campus this past September. Yeah, we hosted our first Y3K Innovation Summit and really highlighted the digital transformation that had happened on campus. So they put in a hologram studio, a high performance gaming computer center. We got a sandbox on those computers. Like that to me is really cool, getting Web3 applications on tech at a major university. Like, come on, like who's doing that for real? Like seriously. And so for me, that's peak. But on the personal tip, like one of my favorite events was karaoke in New York. I remember like we started in a small room and that joint grew. And by the end, we were like in one of like the main like little spaces in the karaoke venue. And like I said, I'm a nerd. I'm a theater kid. So to have a bunch of other nerds come pull up and sing and like just have fun and relax, like that's community building where people can feel safe to be themselves in a world that often makes you feel like you're other or makes you feel like you have to look outside of yourself to be accepted. That gives me the most joy in this space. And like the blockchain aspect, token aspect is really just like a tool that we all get to use to connect and support each other in various ways. So yeah, those are kind of like the two that I would want to highlight. I mean, there's so many cool things that have happened, like House of Sex, Miguel popping up, like never in my wildest dreams, but I thought that like we'd have the opportunity to create a Web3 focused event that could bridge the gap with like a major Web2 artist to help that legacy, particularly Black is Beautiful, continue to go strong and make sure that people are aware of, unfortunately Nick Davis passed, but of the art that he contributed on chain. Like the small wins, those small joys really give me enough like satisfaction in this space. And I'm really grateful for that opportunity.
I love that. And then it's kind of a two-parter. What, besides the ones you just talked about that are happening in December, what event are you looking forward to the most?
Yeah. So we have an event in April called Morgan Hacks that we're partnering with. We are supporting their New Frontier Education as Y3K and bringing the Web3 organization to their campus, to the actual blockchain center at Morgan State. So that's super exciting because we get to directly help college students who are very interested in the future of tech and are clearly demonstrating that they're going to put the energy and the intent into building. So I think it's our due.
I think she froze.
Yeah, she definitely froze.
No.
Why don't you just pick up, just talk about that activation. Just talk about,
Definitely.
We'll start there. Yep.
Okay, so we'll start at Y3K Innovation Summit. It's about preparing our young adults for the future, giving them the tools and access to the community builders and Web3 to help them really understand how blockchain can be a tool to solve problems, right? And to support their own entrepreneurial aspirations, their own creative endeavors, the intersection of all of those things. So we're focused on social impact, emerging technologies and entrepreneurship, and explore things like, how does artificial intelligence, what's the role that plays, and how does that connect with blockchain and NFTs, and where does the metaverse fit into all of this? How can I leverage all of these in tandem? We break that down simply. So all of the work we've been doing over the last 2 years have culminated into this college tour. USC is my alma mater. We kicked off there. Super awesome. Go check out Levy Library. You can see some of the spaces. There's podcast studios. It's open to the public. So podcast studios, hologram machines, high performance gaming, e-gaming, computing labs.
That stuff's open to the public at USC.
Yeah.
That's pretty wild. That's pretty wild. I went to the library with my kids, the major library in Fort Lauderdale, and like they had stuff like that. They had all these like robots you could rent out, and they had like machines you can make. I'm gonna literally go there and make t-shirts. They have machines at the library where you can make t-shirts. Like that's not quite as advanced as what you were talking about at USC. But it's
actually, no, that's even better. Like
isn't that awesome, right? And they have like they have the like sheet where you can like print out the thing to press the shirt. Like you bring your own shirt. I think there's so many resources there that people need to use. But that stuff at USC sounds incredible. Keep on going. I'm sorry to cut you off.
Oh no, it's all good. I love that. So that's our real like vision with like, oh my God, there needs to be more of this. And if we can play a part of that and bridging the gaps in like this Web3 world or whatnot, I mean, it really starts with changing the narrative, right? Changing the story of who the builders are in the community and what we care about, I think is at the core of Y3K. So UCLA is our next stop. We got to support their first annual gaming summit with some really awesome folks like Jay Chains, Crypto Stash, who else? Honest, it's like a lot of Web3 homies. Final Frontier, they're in the Solana space. So that was cool, doing a little bit of what we did at Y3K. We have a larger activation plan for next year. Shout out to Joe Wei. He's doing their digital transformation. So all that cool stuff we were talking about, he's the one who's bringing that stuff on campus and really transforming UCLA now. He did USC, moving on to the next biggest, school in LA. And then we have an event at Morgan State too. So supporting our historically Black colleges and universities in the fall.
Amazing.
It's really fun.
Our esteemed producer, Andy Cinquino, is a major player in the media department at Penn State University.
Hey, Penn State.
So I don't know. There might be some synergy there.
Hey,
he might be laughing. I might have talked him up a little tiny bit, but he's been there for a long time. And,
cool.
Penn State's as good as it gets. I don't know. USC, that's kind of second tier to Penn State.
How far is Penn State from Philly?
It's about 4 hours through windy mountains.
Okay.
Not a fun drive. There's an airport. There's an airport in State College.
Okay. Hey, we're down.
Well, I think it's actually, I went there ago. I won't say, maybe bleep that out, Andy. We won't say how long ago I went there, but it was a while. I think they built a new road because it was really bad in the past. I think they built a new road.
So we've been asked to come to Philadelphia. There's some studies, and I, would love to maybe make something happen out that way.
Yeah.
My dad's originally from PA. Yeah. Spent time in Philly. So I got some love out there.
That's what's up. Yeah, Andy and I are both from Northeast Philly. He's still in Philly now.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, there could be some synergy there. He's in the education. I mean, he's in the university world, and who knows?
Definitely, Andy. Let's make it happen.
Yep. He might have to bleep that whole thing out if he doesn't want people knowing where he works. I'm not. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not actually. We could just bleep just the school if we need to.
There's a lot of editing.
We've said it before. I know. I'm like, because the thing is, we don't re-listen to the episodes after or at least I don't, after he edits. So I don't even know what makes what.
Sometimes I do. Sometimes I do. I'll listen back. I used to listen to everyone, but I've stopped listening to everyone. But when I do listen, I'll definitely hear him chop me up sometimes. Like if I say something stupid.
Does he make me sound good? Does he chop me up?
You don't need any help, Jenny. You don't need any help.
Cut out all my likes and ums. Probably.
Oh yeah, we used to get made fun of for that. Remember, we used to people would call us out on the things we would say over and over again.
No, you guys are great. You have great content, great conversation.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's lovely, lovely podcast.
I feel like we've gotten a lot better over the years. We've talked about it. We have a lot of fun, and I think our guests have fun. We try and
I think
foster that.
it's gotten better.
Actually, maybe you guys, I'll put the invitation out for you to join Y3K, because we did live podcasting recording of one of our partner communities, the Barbershop. They had Scott Page come in, some of our more VIP guests, and chat it up. So that would be really dope at potentially Penn State activation, or
what?
We're cooking up something live here, folks.
Yes. No. I could see something really. I love doing stuff like that. I could definitely see
That'd be cool.
some cool stuff. Yeah, for sure.
We've never done
our
something...
prices are really high. I'm just going to let you know off the bat.
Sure.
Like, our prices are really, really high. You might be a little sticker shock, but we bring the numbers when it comes to the people.
We'll give you the friend special.
Yeah.
Listen, we deal with some of those celebrities in this space. Trust me, I know the price is high. So sponsored. If you'd like to sponsor Y3K Innovation Summit, we'd love to bring an NFT Catcher out.
Let's go.
Let's go.
I actually had a question about events. What goes into throwing a great event? Because you've thrown a lot of events and you know a lot of things. You know, what are some of the do's and don'ts that you've learned?
Man, the first is simple. Everything is energy. So you really don't need a big budget. You don't have to have all your ducks in a row, but you do have to set the vibe. You have to make sure, like, when you're going in with the event, like, that you're very clear on the intention, right? Who are you trying to help? How are you trying to help them, right? For me, I like that individual connection. So I know I want to be very personal. I want someone walking away feeling charged up and not depleted of energy. So that's like off bat. And then from there, you build. It's like, okay, be intentional about the community. Some communities straight up don't align. You don't always have to chase. Attract the communities that are aligned with the intention that you set out, and be vulnerable enough to build with them, and be honest, about like learning each other and how to work well with each other. And then from there, bomb music. That's the thing. Like
bomb music.
You need the fucking vibes, the sound, the frequencies. Like, I'm a dance, I'm a singer, I'm a theater kid at heart. So like, I need it rocking. Like, I need it, and I love all sorts of genres. So I just want to see the crowd. It has to feel good at the end of the day.
How do you know what music to pick? Like what vibe's gonna fit with the different crowds and the different events that you're throwing?
I mean, it's like psychedelic set and setting. Like, museum event I throw, if I know if it's going to be a panel, I want like chill music that allows people to talk. Like, sometimes if the intention is to be a networking event, why would I have music blasting where nobody can hear each other and they can't talk, right? So little details like that is sometimes overlooked if you don't know what's the purpose of everyone gathering here. So, I like a little Karuga band, something like jazz, lo-fi hip hop or something. That's my style, that's my vibe. Versus like if I'm throwing a party banger like at Basel, man, we're looking for the best DJs. I mean, if anyone like this, we're trying to pack it out. We're trying to have people sweat, walk out like, where did I just come from?
Trying to have people sweat. Let's go.
Yeah, that's funny.
Michael, you ready to sweat at the Miami party you're gonna go to?
No, Michael's in the VIP area.
I'm in the VIP area. Though it's quiet in there. There's air conditioning. You can smoke weed. It's really nice.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that.
You can have conversation with the
exactly.
models.
I can speak to people, right? Yeah, with the models.
With the models, wow! Don't get him in trouble.
Hey, no trouble. We have some really awesome performers.
Is there a red carpet for me? I just want to make sure I know what I'm getting into here.
There could be maybe a red carpet. I don't know.
I mean, like paparazzi. I just want to make sure because I dress up like Jen knows. I really dress up real fancy.
Dresses to the nines. Student tux.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, isn't everyone paparazzi these days pulling out their phones? I would say
true. I know when they see me, I know it's like I can't. People, please.
Please. No, I don't know. We try to be a little more unique, not do like the same old. But it will be when you walk into the venue, that is your time to strut. There will be a photo op, definitely.
Nice.
Oh, nice. We like a nice photo op.
We love photo op.
And I noticed you have a free claim Polygon NFT right now, right? For the party.
I do.
Nice,
I
yeah.
do for the community. So it's
Right.
free right now.
Okay. Yeah.
because, yeah, our last members, if you attended our last event or if you're at NFTLA, scoop it up. You got the email to claim one. And it's open. Yeah. So, but we're equal access. But at a certain point, it's going to be a paid membership. So I would advise to get it now, get a discount on the ticket, discount on VIP.
Yep.
All that good stuff. More perks.
I want to talk real quick about Polygon, if you don't mind, because I really love Polygon, but so for the free claim, how did you do the mechanism for the free claim? Did they have to claim it on Polygon and have that little bit of Matic?
You do have to have some Matic.
Yep.
I actually use OpenSea Studio. So I have a lot of platforms. Like OpenSea wasn't the first, the intended platform for the NFT initially. I've gone through a lot of different partners and trying to find the right one. And when I saw that they had created that, I really wanted to use it as an opportunity. At the end of the day, OpenSea is the largest, secondary marketplace. So it only makes sense to start there. And they've been doing a lot of cross chains. So with creating a Polygon NFT is very easy on their studio now. So they don't sponsor me. I don't get any placement. But if you would like to sponsor future events, we are, I did want to champion and try, use the product. Yeah. So it was pretty seamless, honestly. You click the chain, but I've definitely run into that problem with onboarding. It's like, if I want an onboarding tool, I will use, we are partnered with a platform called Crowdclass. They're out of Portugal. So they also do Polygon NFTs, but it's completely free. You don't have to have any Matic. So it has a wallet.
And you still get it in your wallet, right? Yeah. Is it a custodial wallet?
Yeah. So you can connect your wallet or they'll create one.
Or they'll create one for you. Cool. Yeah. That's because like I was saying, I love Polygon, but right now it's tough for the non-custodial wallets because bridging, so having it for free, you're doing it right, because if you give somebody a free ETH NFT, they still got to pay $20 for it. It's not a free NFT. It's $20. You know what I mean? Like we throw around the gas money like it's nothing, but it's the truth. I've thought about that a lot. Like everyone that does a free NFT, it's kind of silly that people are paying $20 for it. You might as well even make $1 or $2 of that.
When the meta was free, just pay shipping. Companies would always do that. And it's well, it's not really free because you have to pay shipping. But,
shipping and handling, right.
So that's what I mean, in terms of being intentional and successful with this onboarding and this just Web3 game, little things like that. For me, my target audience is Web3. And if you're new to Web3, it'll force you to go through the process of getting a little something, exchanging, if you care enough.
Yep. No, I know some people that have done really successful launches on Polygon, non-custodial, and they've been very particular about the onboarding process and linking everybody to those faucets that'll give you a little bit of Matic and things like that. And if you have that process down, it's a little bit daunting for people, but they feel accomplished when they get through it. I've seen groups onboard hundreds of people that way, and you can do that for sure. Polygon's crushing it with the custodial wallets right now, all the DraftKings and all that stuff. That's the Starbucks is doing really well over there. But they're gonna. It's a great solution. They will get the non-custodial stuff down, but right now, like you said, it is a little bit. I just wanted to ask your kind of theory and thought on that. You went there just to make sure that the people were getting it for free. Basically, is that the? Yeah.
Basically, yeah. And. Yeah, I do. To your point about future adoption, when I think about mass adoption, Polygon is certainly in the conversation. So. Right.
Well, that's what I think. You can't really scale big time on ETH. It'll screw everything up. The gas will, if whenever there's pumps, the gas will get too crazy. We were paying $100 in gas like it was nothing all the time. That's not. So
and I think Polygon, that's why a lot of people couldn't relate, and why probably a lot of people didn't get into space.
Yeah. I had people shut down. I was showing my friends, I was trying to buy NFTs and I wouldn't get it and I would lose the gas and they'd be like, you lost the gas. I'd be like, yeah, but if I got it, I would have made $5,000. So it's worth the chance. You know what I mean? The people just don't get it. It was crazy back then. But I've always thought that you can't really do it on ETH. ETH isn't made for that. ETH is not made to do microtransactions. Yeah.
Nah, and I think, I know like Cosmos and Avalanche are growing, and I think they have great like scalable applications for like real business organizations. But in terms of just like membership, like Polygon is a really great fit for the type of utility and use case
Yeah.
we're talking about.
Polygon's there right now. All the big players are choosing them. It's just kind of, it's like there are other ones that are doing different things. I know Aptos is doing some different things. Like I've been trying to look at that or whatever, but like Polygon just seems to be winning at this point.
And you got to see who's winning with the government. That's one thing I learned at my previous, employment. It's like at the end of the day, in this economics where we're living, right? Like who has good relationships and good standing and really know how to speak to the politicians and decision makers for regulating this space, they're going to win.
I just saw this. I'm going to pull it up right now. I'm going into my text messages. Somebody sent this to me. U.S. Treasury official says President Biden's administration wants new powers from Congress to crack down on crypto. Yeah, so fun, right? That'll be good.
I think it's too old to make a call on that.
Wait, what do you mean? Like, why are you going to crack down on it? It's not heroin. You know what I mean?
That's what he's used to. He's used to war.
Right. Like, we don't have to crack. You can regulate it. Cool. Like, you crack down on it. Like,
yeah.
That's just hard. Like,
it's real nefarious,
I know. Come on. Is that just like, I don't know. Like,
it makes it sound like we're doing something bad over here.
Yeah.
Like we're into some bad stuff.
Biden, you're making it hard on me when I go back for Thanksgiving dinner. Because they're all gonna think I fucking, like...
Why don't we crack down on international corruption and money? Why don't we crack down on something?
Make on that. Yeah. No, I totally agree. And that's what I mean, changing the narrative to circle back to plug Y3K and the stuff that we're doing is like that. They do that intentionally to immediately your mind, when you say crack down, you're like, oh, crack down. It must be really bad.
Yeah, I better I'll sell all of it. Right. Exactly. That's what they want. I mean, I don't know.
I just know there's some election season coming up, right? And I know
it's going to be
topic.
Yeah. But it's going to be a nice, cordial election season in this country. We're all going to take it calm and easy. And everybody's going to work together and have a nice, fair election. Everyone will be happy with the outcome. It's going to be nice and smooth.
Yeah, very kosher with wars going on. No, I'm actually really terrified for the future, but I hope everyone makes it out alive,
I hope so.
Okay, pivoting here from
Thank you, Jen. Thank
you.
Who are some of your favorite NFT artists?
My favorite NFT artist. I was actually just talking about Jaden Violet. He's a Web3 musician. He is one of my favorite. Yeah, do you know UVR?
No, but I'm like wanting to look them up right now.
Yeah,
what is their Twitter?
Jaden, Jadyn Violet, I think.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Jaden Violet.
Yeah. He is one of my favorites because he captures the essence of, to me, the future of the space. Like, as a musician, he's using the chain to, publish his music, get it out there, create a community. He's actually present, hosting Twitter spaces constantly, 24-hour joints. He created his own NFT art, after working in the space, putting music, finally launched a token membership, does the IRL events. Like, that is the future of like a musician and like the potential of artists to use blockchain in a way that supports them and their dreams and their talents. So like, he is definitely up there for me. Yeah.
Oh,
I just followed.
Yeah, he's actually hosting a party too at Art Basel. He's doing a rave, right before ours. So head over there.
Damn, there's a lot. Art Basel is always so crazy, and this year sounds like there's a lot going on. There's gonna be a lot happening. Pump for that.
I know, Michael. You're gonna have to report on. You're gonna have to go to all the parties, and then we're gonna have to
make the parties
a recap. Miami Art Basel recap. And you're gonna have to just say everything.
Yeah.
You'll have to go to Diamond's event and report back on that too. So.
I'm going to.
Wait, Jenny, you're not coming to Basel?
I don't think so, because I mean, this is a
She's
good
gone
thing,
on
obviously, but
she's gone on
Yeah,
another
I'm
vacation.
going on a
Jenny's
cruise.
she's
around
been
that time.
gallivanting around the planet like every week. I don't have a co-host on Sunday nights anymore. This is pretty awful. I mean, every
My
week
personal
is
life is popping right now.
it's a different Caribbean island. I'm like, what is
What?
happening?
Michael, it's called digital nomad life.
I
Digital
know.
nomad life.
Well,
Exactly.
see, when I travel, I've recorded from about 4 or 5 countries.
I know.
now.
I tell Michael we don't have to record. He's like, no, don't worry about it. Like, and it'll be like 4 a.m. in like I don't know, some random country, and he's like, I'm committed.
Yeah.
I'm like, why do you do this?
Oh, that's dope.
So I guess I'm not as committed as Michael, but
No,
That's
you guys
okay.
have been putting in the work. How many episodes? You're like on more than 100, yeah?
Like 185-ish.
yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna
Congrats.
get
Quite a
to 200 around the end of the year. We're pumped.
Woo!
Awesome.
Thanks to that
Awesome.
200 mark.
And,
Michael, do you have any more questions before we go into Gas Wars?
before we go into guess what as well, my last question was actually going to be to ask about artists, like you just did.
Oh,
You stole the
jinx.
question, like I always ask at the end of every episode. But
you don't always ask that one.
no,
I mean,
don't.
you ask it a lot of
I used to always ask.
Yeah,
it. I don't
you
ask it
used to.
every time anymore. No, it's fine. It's fine. Let's see. I don't have one off the top of my head because that was gonna
Okay.
be the one I list. Let's do guess.
Well, we
Wars.
got
Let's do
we
guess
got
wars.
10 questions to ask Diamond now. So
Yeah.
yeah. So we're gonna go into Gas Wars, where we each ask 5 rapid fire questions. If you want to like go into stories, with the questions, you can, or you can keep it short. But yeah, 5 questions each that may or may not have to do with the NFT space. So let's get this started.
And it's like trivia. This is going to test my NFT knowledge.
No, it's not NFT questions.
Okay.
Really, none of mine are NFT questions. So they're
Okay.
just
You'll see. It's fun. It's fun.
Okay.
all right. My first question is: what is your favorite TV show?
30 Rock.
30 Rock. Damn, she
That was
answered
quick.
that quick. That was so quick.
All right, where was the first one? What's the best gift you ever received?
Best gift I ever received. Tony bought me a really nice dress for my birthday one year. I told him I had never had like a designer piece or whatnot, so he got me one. And
Ooh,
yeah.
bougie. Let's go.
I really am not though. I'm like a thrift shopper. I'm like real chill. I'm like came from Virginia. I'm like super humble with the shit. So it was like, my big girl dress.
Were you scared to wear it and get a stain on it?
Oh my God, yeah. And I
Because that's how I feel whenever I have something semi-nice. I'm like, oh my God, I can't wear this. I'm going to stain it.
Yeah. Yeah. Now I'm just trying to get the money's worth and wear it,
Right. Yeah.
Utility.
Get that utility. Okay. Not favorite. What is one of your hobbies that you have?
Karaoke.
Karaoke. Yes.
Karaoke.
What is your favorite festival or conference you've ever attended?
I'll shout out conference. I go on the tip. I use the opportunity to call out National Society of Black Engineers, NSB. That little conference basically I went to in college. Was dope. It's like I got my internships on the spot, like so much professional career development, so much good vibes, and they're really exemplary in terms of how they organize. They're the largest student organization globally. So yeah, shout out to NSB conferences.
What is the most unique food you've eaten?
Oh my God. When I was working in China, they would get me. Like I would have pig's blood, like gelatinous, that it was like in a
hell
stew.
no.
That was wild. I've had donkey, like
What? I've never heard of anybody say they had donkey before. That's crazy. Wait, what did it taste like?
It was some bomb sauce on it. I'm not even gonna lie. Like I don't even oh my God, and I had them chicken. Oh, like they had chicken feet like in China too, just straight up.
What the
Yes. Like the claw.
no,
Yes, I have a picture. Yeah.
that I just know the way that it looks like, at least with the other meat, like the donkey, like probably just looks like regular meat. The actual chicken legs, that's wild.
Yeah.
That is wild.
That was China.
Nice. What is the best city you've ever lived in?
San Diego.
Let's
San
go.
Diego. How'd you like San Diego, Jenny? You just came back.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot that. Yeah. We tried to meet up, but it just didn't end up working out. But yeah, San Diego's beautiful. I mean, anywhere where the weather is, it's like sunny, but there's a cool breeze. Like I just love them. So yeah, San Diego's nice. What is the first NFT you ever owned?
Ether Gals.
Ether Gals.
You remember?
What? No,
that's an OG one. Check out my
I don't remember that one. That's one I don't remember. And I usually know the weird.
Yeah, I do not remember that one.
Oh man, they were so cute. She had a third eye glasses on, and she looked like she came from the galaxy, like a little babe. And she was they were definitely slandering Ether Gals as one of those like early projects that was a rug. Like when that whole 30-minute like YouTube video came out, like they were putting that picture up, and for a moment I was like, damn, that hurt. Like I bought one of those, but it's still cute, and I use it as my Telegram PFP.
Very nice.
What is a subject that you wish you knew more about?
I wish I knew more about like herbology. Like it's something that I know really that like knowledge of plants is very useful for like survival and just, being at the optimal health. And so I have a ton of books, but I haven't like really studied it. It's one of those things like, oh, I have a sore throat. What's happening?
Yep. Herbology. I like it.
Natural remedies.
Natural, yeah.
All right. My last question is, what is a simple life hack that everyone can benefit from?
Breathing.
Breathing
techniques, yeah. Breath work.
Well, what are some proper breath techniques?
Yoga breath.
Yeah.
I do yoga every day. I do yoga every single day.
What's your favorite? You do a little left, right nostril?
No, they call it Ujjayi breath. Where you just basically like deep breath in, you feel it in the back of your throat, and like deep breath in, deep breath out. Just keep that breath going through the whole class with your movements. I think the word yoga means breath, technically. Like in Sanskrit,
they say it's the most important.
Right.
It's really the most important. So square breath is one, they use to treat PTSD, and it's regulating your breath to be consistent with your intake, your holding, your outtake, and holding at the end. And then your posture. This is pro tip for breath work. But when you are very intentional about breathing and you're meditating, you want to squeeze your pelvis. You want to basically contract that bottom lower area and pull up that spine. So you're getting to use the fullness of your lung.
Nice. I love that. The yoga teachers do say that. Go ahead, Jen. Say.
Well, I was going to say, when you breathe in, is your stomach going in and then you breathe out, your stomach goes out, or is it the other way around?
So you're talking about like the diaphragm, whether that should go in and out. Honestly, there are exercises that are like training both, like breath of fire, where you're like constantly exhaling versus like, breath of fire versus breath of glow, where it's like in and out, like there's a pumping to it. So you're doing like the contracting as well as, it's like forcing it out. So honestly, both. But the proper way, I think the most important key is breathing through your nose, because mouth breathing kind of breeds like bacteria. Like your nose is really where you cleanse the air and the breath, and then exhale out.
Okay, so breathe in through your nose, breathe out through your mouth.
Wow. Yeah.
I can do that.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. Last question, final question. What is the most spontaneous thing you've ever done?
Definitely not staged for a podcast, but the most spontaneous. No, what is the most spontaneous thing? I probably moved to Charlotte from San Diego. Yeah, that was very spontaneous, but it was intentional, and with the intention of building my business, NFTCLT, and doing this work in the cities that are overlooked, that, really should have the opportunity and access to these resources that we have to.
The CLT, until you just said that, I thought it meant culture. but it's Charlotte.
I love that because someone the other day told me they thought it meant cult. So culture is so much better than cult.
Yeah, definitely.
Wasn't cult kind of like
Yeah, it's kind of like it's a derivative of it. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. I'm definitely, I think NFTs, blockchain, we may be a little bit of a culture. Definitely the first in line for sure.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, I'm like, I think the outsiders think this is a cult for sure. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Like the pudgy penguins. Yeah, outsiders are like, okay, you're not a cult. Right.
Basically.
Yeah.
All right.
Amazing.
Well,
So
yeah,
much fun.
sweet. We did it. Thank you, Diamond, for joining. This was a lot of fun. Always appreciate you. And hopefully I'll get to see you soon. I mean, I guess Michael will see you soon, but hopefully I get to see you soon.
Art Basel. Yeah, and I saw you. We followed each other the other day, so I'll definitely connect leading up. I won't bother you. I know you'll be very busy, but you don't have to give me a VIP. I was just joking, but I'll definitely try.
No,
and
you
come
got
and,
one.
Oh, okay. Well, then I will take it. Then I will.
You, your wife. Yeah.
Well, we need. I don't know if we do all that. We're not usually out. Babysitters and down in Miami. We'll see. But
it's a thing, but we got you. And I really appreciate you guys for inviting me on this podcast. A lot of fun. This is really awesome what you guys are doing and creating really impactful conversation in the community.
Thank you.
Yeah,
so nice. Sweet. All right. Well, with that said, thank you all for tuning into this episode of the NFT Catcher podcast, and we will catch you in the next one. Peace.
Thank you for tuning in to the NFT Catcher podcast. We hope you enjoyed today's episode and learned something new about the exciting world of NFTs. If you enjoyed today's episode, please take a moment to subscribe to our podcast on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your podcasts. And if you really love what you're hearing, please leave us a rating and review on your favorite platform. If you want to stay up to date with the latest news and insights from the NFT space, be sure to follow us on all the socials at NFTCatcherPod. You can follow Jennifer at Jennifer_pseudo and Michael at NFTicket. I'm your producer, Andy, and I'm at AJC254. Our theme song's by It's Just Los. We always appreciate your feedback and support, which helps us reach more people and bring you informative and engaging content about NFTs. We look forward to bringing you more great NFT content in future episodes. Thanks for listening. Peace.